Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Anything for my princess.
I am serious, and don't call me short.
Boom, 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 boom. Flash. Oh, savior of the universe.
Nobody's going to clap. Okay, there's two other people in here. Nobody else is going to clap for that.
Oh, I couldn't hear anything.
Was there nothing there?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Well, anyway, how you guys doing? This is.
Try it again.
Try it again?
Try it again.
Okay, hold on. You ready? We're going to do the bit again. The joke is gone. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. This is Big Bang Cinema, by the way. I'm Isley Squeaky Clean Anderson.
I am Tyler, waiting for the song Keen.
Okay, and this is a movie show where we talk about movie news.
Movie reviews.
And everything in between. Let's do that again.
It's not playing.
Okay, well, we're going to forget it, okay? That was a big old fail. Guys, thank you so much for watching so far. Sorry about the intro. Over here, who is this over here?
That's Chris, I believe, the guy from with the beard.
Guy from the beard.
The guy with the beard.
Okay, well, Chris, introduce yourself.
I'm Chris. You may recognize my voice from Game On every Thursday from 1 to 2 on 89.1 FM, your source for your music, news, reviews, and remixes.
Tasty as that sun-kissed in your hand. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Time for some movie news. Tyler,
I'm ready.
What are we going to talk about first?
First, we're going to talk about the Flash Gordon movie is having a remake.
All right. Well, the Flash Gordon movie is if you don't know what Flash Gordon is a property.
Sam Jones. Sam Jones.
I don't remember who originally played him, but it was like back in the 40s of his old serials. George Lucas was really inspired by Flash Gordon, and there was a movie back in the late 70s, I believe. That
Sam Jones.
I think so. I don't know.
1980.
1980. Oh, that's basically 1980 is basically the late 70s, so I count that. Okay.
That's not how that works.
Well,
Really?
technically, it's the 10 in the 70s. It's the 9, 10.
Well, yeah. So it's the early 80s. Let's put it that way. Okay.
No, the 10 in the 70s is 1970.
No, that's the 60.
But anyway,
No, that's not how that works.
the director of a movie called Overlord, which is coming out in another week or so, it's a World War II film. He's going to be directing Flash Gordon, the new one. And so, yeah, it's been announced. It's pretty much going to be happening. What do you think about this?
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah?
I just hope it's going to have some better acting in it.
I hope it will also, because the first one is not the strongest, but it was a movie
Yes, it
for
was.
shizzle. And here's a little clip of it right here.
I feel like Rita Propulsa should be somewhere.
It does look a little bit like a Power Rangers movie, doesn't it? Okay, so in case people don't know what Flash Gordon is about, like the plot of Flash Gordon, the very loose plot, what is the plot to Flash Gordon?
The plot to Flash Gordon is wherever you want it to be. Pretty much a football jock gets sucked into space to help stop himself, his girlfriend, I think it was girlfriend, and a scientist to stop the evil overlord named Ming who was causing weather, chaos, and havoc on Earth.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I believe so. And then there's other races that band with him to help stop Ming.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty fun movie overall. It's a pretty simple premise. We'll most likely screw it up. But as far as kind of like Flash Gordon, who do you want to see play Flash Gordon if you had to choose?
Anybody. I would probably say Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin, for real?
Yeah, I'd say Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin's too old.
Oh, yeah, he probably is, but he's got range.
Yeah, that's quite the range, man.
Yeah, that's range.
Man, well, I don't know.
How about let's pull that. What about the dude from the pop group who was in Dunkirk, the singer?
Oh, Harry Styles?
Yes.
No, he's too skinny.
Yeah, he could do it. He'd probably do it.
I don't know. I would say like a Channing Tatum or somebody like
Channing
that.
Tatum, did he already do this? What are they called? Jupiter Ascending?
Drew would like to throw a name in the hat.
Well, what would the name
Chris
be?
Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth would be a good one, yeah. Yeah, somebody that's kind of got like, looks like a football jock. It needs to be that, Harry Styles is not a football jock, Like he's the guy in the crowd screaming he wants to see Tom Brady. Like
but he'll sell British tickets.
Yeah, well, I mean, that doesn't matter. But as far as kind of like the way
Hey, Tom Brady to do it. We get Tom freaking Brady.
I that would be great. That would be great.
And what they do is like he deflates the planet. That's how he saves everybody.
And he was denying it the whole time. He's like, I didn't deflate the
I
planet.
didn't do it.
Look at these rings. These are power rings.
Power.
Oh, man. Oh, that was a good. I actually want to see that. Hey, LeBron could be in Space Jam too. I think this one could be.
It could be
good.
It could really be. He gives them the glory of the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'll be excited to see this movie. It'll most likely be a CGI nightmare. But
Or animated.
yeah, I don't think it'll be animated. But it will definitely be something that will be a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes or lower. If it's Sony, definitely lower. But it's Paramount. But
Yeah, that's probably. Oh yeah.
okay. Well, speaking about might be bad, Rian Johnson has been starting his new film called 90's Out. Started filming yesterday.
Oh boy, that sounds exciting and fun.
So Rian
Like
Johnson.
Ron Johnson's never ruined a movie before.
Yeah, he's only ruined one, to my knowledge. But so this movie is going to be starring a few recognizable names, specifically Daniel Craig, like you just saw on the photo up there. Lakeith Stanfield, who was just in Sorry to Bother You. Toni Collette, that was in Hereditary. A bunch of big name actors. I believe
Muriel's
Jamie Lee
Wedding.
Curtis is going to be in there.
Muriel's Wedding.
Michael Shannon.
No giggling.
What?
Yeah, that's what everybody remembers him from Let's Go to Prison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like they've been in other things, but I mean,
Yeah.
as far as kind of like, well, if you don't know who Rian Johnson is, real quick, Rian Johnson's a guy that directed a movie called Looper, and he also directed Star Wars Episode 8.
I say he's the one who killed Star Wars.
Well, that would be George Lucas back in 1999. Actually, it was a little earlier than that when he started selling out with the toys. But Rian Johnson made a very controversial Star Wars movie. It was Episode 8. What was it called? The Last Jedi, I think. I don't know. I already forgot it. And people really didn't like it, and he got a lot of flack for it.
Last Jedi.
Yeah, I know it was Last Jedi. I was being facetious. It was.
Well, I never know with you.
Yeah, I know. Well,
He was being fergalicious.
That's called
and listened to
convincing.
him.
But I see. I'm like Rian Johnson. I've subverted your expectations. You thought I was gonna not know it, but I actually wound up knowing it because hey, that's totally satisfying, right?
He's trolling you, bro. He's trolling you.
Okay, but anyway, Rian Johnson came up under a lot of fire for that. People said he ruined Star Wars. He doesn't deserve to direct anything else, which I don't think is true.
He ruined the integrity of Star Wars that didn't exist after 1982.
Okay, well, Rian Johnson, overall, how do you think his move to a new movie is going to be after all the controversy that he went under for Star Wars Episode 8?
Okay, you have to remember this, that the critics loved it. Critics loved what he done, so I'm pretty sure.
Not every critic.
Okay, the fan base didn't like what he did, but I would say like he'll probably get a lot of backing. They'll probably throw a lot of money at him to have this movie made. Pretty sure the corporate media will be like, "Oh, he's incredible. Yeah, let's have him make another movie."
Okay.
And I got a feeling a lot of the former Star Wars fans are probably going to boycott this film.
Well, I personally really think Rian Johnson is a quality director. I don't think he's a bad
Oh,
director.
come on, Looper wasn't even that good.
Looper was all right. I used to think it was a lot better than it was, but it's all right. He also made another movie called Brick, which I've never been able to sit the whole way through. But what I watched was okay.
Was it about Ben Folds?
No, it was not.
Oh.
It was not about that song.
Okay.
It probably would have been more interesting. But he also directed a studio comedy, which I've never seen. But the kind of comedy that's in The Last Jedi is in that movie, so I'm probably not going to watch it. But Rian Johnson's not that bad of a director. You know, he's definitely interesting with his choices, I would say. But I don't know. There definitely is some issues in his writing as far as like the way his screenplays go. I think there's some blatant flaws in that. But you know, I mean, you have your strengths and your weaknesses. And I mean, a lot of big name actors in this, and partly that's probably because he carries on the name of I directed a Star Wars movie. You should come and work on my project. And he also seems like a nice guy to work with. So enough, like I don't know about his character or anything, but I'm interested to see where he's going to go. Chris, as somebody that has seen Star Wars Episode 8 and kind of was aware of all this controversy, but not too attached to kind of like the movie knowledge and whatnot of all this, what do you think? Do you think Rian Johnson can rebound from Episode 8?
I think he probably can. It's like I don't think Episode 8 was like so atrocious that it's like he ruined his career or whatever. I think he can bounce back from it because I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, what we'll see, maybe this movie will be okay, maybe it'll be great, maybe it'll be awesome, maybe it'll suck.
Good words,
I don't know.
Chris. That was really
But we
good.
should give Rian Johnson a chance, is what I'm trying to say here. Don't write him off just because he made a Star Wars movie you didn't like too much. So, enough about that. Rian Johnson, best of luck to you. What's up next, Tyler?
Next, we got the Attack on Titan movie, Is a Go. So apparently it's a very big anime property right now from Japan, and with a whole bunch of people with German last names, and about them fighting giants with razors as they swing around on cords, and one guy turns into a giant. So it sounds confusing, but it makes sense if you don't think about it or watch and if you watch the show.
Okay,
but
well, Chris, can you actually tell me what the real plot to Attack on Titan is?
I just gave it. People live behind the wall.
Because we talked about this a little bit. I think I got the basic gist. Basically tell us.
Did you also have the synopsis?
Yeah, I do. I'm curious for somebody that has watched the anime and whatnot,
I've seen it, and I just gave you the plot for it.
Okay, well, basically the plot is, I'll just go ahead and say it. Like you said.
You can just read off the synopsis.
Okay, in layman's terms, there's a bunch of weird giant humanoids called Titans that are attacking the city, and they build a bunch of walls up because that always works. And people have lived there for many, many years, and the main character, what's his name, Yeager or whatever?
Aaron Yeager.
Aaron Yeager.
I read this too.
He sees one of his friends die or something like that. He goes through a traumatic experience. Now he lives his life to try to fight for the army that's behind the wall and try to fight these Titans.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you were way off on this. You were way off.
You
I'm
were
not an
kind of
anime
there,
fan.
and then you went way off the tracks.
Okay.
So what it was like from the time that the anime is set, I don't remember the exact time. I'm gonna say 100 years. I might be wrong, but 100 years prior, there was essentially what?
It's 500.
Was it 500?
Let's not get too caught up in the lore. Let's just talk
Yeah.
about what's happening. Yeah.
There was big human massacre with the Titans, so they built 3 walls up to protect human civilization, and so they've had peace for however many years, and then all of a sudden, gigantic Titan bigger than any other Titans they've seen pops up right outside the wall, breaks down the first wall, starts letting Titans in. In that whole massacre, Aaron's mother dies, and this is not really spoilers. This happens in the first episode.
Okay. It's the premise.
It's the main premise. So yeah, his mother dies, and so he goes to join the Scout
Regiment.
Yeah, Scout Regiment, who are the ones that go outside the wall to fight the Titans and try to learn more about them in order to eventually eradicate them.
Okay. Well, this is going to get shoved in a 2.5-hour movie, so a lot of that's going to get lost.
It's going to be terrible.
So,
now.
like I said, I'm not big on anime, but one thing's for sure, anime live action almost never works.
Okay, they actually
Almost, or just never works?
Pretty much 95% of the time it doesn't work.
Okay, they actually made 2 live action movies of this in Japan.
Yeah, I know. I think we have a photo of the poster, actually.
And it's one of the worst things ever made.
Yeah, is this one correct?
See, really, there's a plot line with her being the last Asian person alive. So, I mean, everyone else is German, like everyone has German names. They all look German or European, and her whole plot line is she's the last one alive.
Oh,
so
is she the main character?
No, it's adopted sister. So the plot's gone for that.
Okay, well,
everyone else is Japanese in it.
As far as in making this, because part of what makes anime so interesting is I'll let Chris kind of take this in just a minute because this is kind of his original thought, is that these things are very complex, and trying to shove them in such a short amount of time is probably not the greatest idea. But Chris, elaborate. As a man that loves anime, why don't you think they can make a good movie out of this?
Well, because all the characters in essentially any of the good anime, all the characters often have very deep storylines and very deep emotions. They're more complex than just this is this character. They're not just a name, which is what they end up being in the movie. In some animes, they'll give a certain character an entire episode just to develop that character and that character's backstories and that character's emotions and that sort of thing. And it's that just all gets thrown out the window when they shove it into 2.5 hours. And it's bad because they stop being that character and they start just being a name.
Yeah,
I could also add to that is a lot with anime is there's a lot of loose, bad plot. I mean, you give it a pass because it's animated and it's not from America, so you gotta give it a pass on it. But when you try to make it live action, it just does not work out. The only time something really live action that would probably work out is as long as it's nothing outlandish, far-fetched, and really fantasy-driven.
Well, I think the biggest reason, and we'll end on this, because I think that, number one, Attack on Titan is a recognizable name. Number two, people will go see a movie that they recognize. Number three, it's a real shame that like these things are going to get so watered down. And like Chris said, they're just going to be a name. You know, it's going to be like you're going to lose all the nuance and kind of beauty of these characters because you're getting rushed through. And also, they're probably expecting them doing like 4 other of these, and they probably greenlit all of them. And when this one tanks in the box office, they're probably going to go run with their head screaming off.
And you'll see a director that's never seen or read any of the source material.
Or and done like one indie movie before this, and now they give them a $200 million project.
I mean, and a lot of stuff, it's just not going to translate well in live action. Just not going to do well.
So we're talking about Attack on Titan or Death Note?
That's a
As a prime example. But anyway, enough about that. Our last topic for today is It Chapter 2 has come out with a poster. Don't get too excited. It's just a black piece of paper with the logo on it. It's nothing there, but it gives us an opportunity to talk about the movie in and of itself. So, It Chapter 1 came out last year. It was one of the favorites for a lot of people. It's one of your favorites, actually, right?
It was probably my favorite horror movie from last
Yeah, Chris,
year.
you never saw It Chapter 2, did you?
No.
I think you'd enjoy it. I thought it was all right. I wasn't super in love with it. I loved the character stuff, but some of the horror elements kind of was a little annoying. But they're making a second one, and there's a lot of big name actors like Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader, and I believe
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy's in it too. Yeah. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about It Chapter 2 and kind of like where you think this is going to go, and if you're even interested to see a part 2.
I'll tell you how it's going to go. So a kid. There's going to be a young homosexual boy. He's going to get killed, and it's going to bring it back after a few years. And the whole group, Losers Club is disbanded. They've all moved on. They've kind of forgot about each other. They're all living successful lives, except for Bill, Ben, who still lives in town, and he works as a librarian. And he kind of sees the signs that it's coming back, and he calls everybody that it's back, and they all start to remember that they fought and killed it. And then their horrible past starts rushing to them. They all decide to come back to town to stop it.
Okay.
Stop it.
It's kind of like an allegory for like a
And then,
growing up or anything.
one of them's going to commit suicide. One's going to get his arm ripped off. He's going to die. And then Barb is going to. Never mind. I don't want to spoil too much.
This is how the book goes, I guess.
Yeah, I've read it, sir. I've read it.
Well, as we know, movies don't always follow the source material, partly because this book's like 14,000 pages long.
Yeah, that is true.
But there was a television movie of it, right?
Yes, there was. It was Tim Curry was in it.
And Tim Curry was in it, yes. And that was kind of interesting. The spider part was kind of weird. It becomes back as a spider, doesn't he?
Well, it is the spider.
Yeah. But so as far as kind of like where they're going to take this now, what kind of things do you think they're going to add into it from the book? What do you think they're not going to include from someone that's read the book? And what do you think it should be like? What do you think it should be like according to the last movie?
They're probably going to throw the whole bunch of Gan and a whole bunch of the odd words to it, like Gan being his prime enemy and the battle between the spider and the turtle. And so I think a lot of they might keep some like nods to the Dark Tower, but they might not, because a lot of this had to do with the Dark Tower.
I seriously doubt it, since Dark Tower bombed at the
not
box
that.
office.
I'm talking about the book Dark Tower.
Yeah, well, I don't think it matters anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But the biggest thing I'm excited for is like the dynamic between these people. It's really interesting to see how they were so tight back when they were young, and kind of seeing where they go later in the world. I'm excited to see it. But anyway, guys, what do you guys think about any of the topics we've talked about today? You can leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We would love to hear what you guys have to say. And we're going to go take a real quick break. When we come back, we have a really fun segment talking all about the 90s. Stay with us.
When it comes to culinary arts, Nash Community College is here to turn your burning passion for food into a career. Our chefs, with over 70 years of highly qualified industry experience, are here to point you in the right direction, teaching and handing down classical culinary techniques that will improve your skills and help you cut your way into the food industry. Gain invaluable experience, vital to cooking and preparing delicious food, served in a personal and creative environment. To learn more about the Culinary Arts program, visit nashcc.edu.
That looks like fun. Guys, how are you doing? This is Big Bang Cinema. My name is Arthur Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
And we thank you for coming back. And if you're just joining us, thank you so much for watching. Guys, We reviewed a movie this week called Mid-90s. It's going to be on Quick Flicks Friday, a la tomorrow, at 9 a.m. on Facebook, so check it out. But it really prompted us to look into what the 90s were like, because me and you kind of grew up in the 90s, you know.
Yeah.
You more so than I. You know, I
That's
grew up in the later 90s, and Chris was born in the 90s. So it'll be really interesting to talk about some of our 1999. That was a great year for movies, and we're going to talk about it. Both of our movies are from 1999.
Yeah, that is true. That was a good.
So we're going to talk about our favorite 90s movies. Now, there's a lot to choose from, but specifically, what I think I'm going to go look for is one that really kind of like was a big kind of stepping stone for, you know, that kind of.
Is it The Matrix?
It's The Matrix.
Yeah, I thought so. I know he's going to roll with The Matrix.
But it was basically a good 90s movie to me. It was one that like is not a product of its time, but still has elements of like the time it was in. And really kind of plays to the best of those strengths. It was kind of the rise of when computer-generated imagery, a la CGI, started becoming really popular, and there was a nice blend of practical and CGI elements. And it was kind of like the golden age of that kind of thing. And I thought it was really, really interesting as far as the way that this movie specifically put them together, because we've never seen a movie quite like this.
And it was cool to watch this whole movie without Keanu Reeves going, whoa.
Oh, he does do that in the movie.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he does do it.
We have it on the sound effects.
Oh, man, I thought.
Hey, man, have you watched The Matrix?
Yeah, I just totally forgot he did that.
Well, the Matrix. What makes The Matrix so great is not only the visual effects, kind of in the early days of that, but also the script is super tight. It's a very simple story. You know, someone becomes the hero and denies the hero's journey, and like at the end he becomes the hero again. But what makes it interesting is just the world they're set in. They're put into a computer simulation, and in case you've never seen The Matrix, 45 minutes in the movie, you figure out he's in a computer program. Up to this point, you don't know he's in a computer program. And I say it all the time, it's one of the most shocking sequences. It still hits me every single time I see it, is when Neo wakes up. I know I just hit the microphone. Sorry to the people listening on headphones. But just the way this movie's constructed, the performances and everything, Keanu Reeves is really good in this movie.
Yes, he is.
And Lawrence Fishburne's also great. Everyone in this movie is great, but it definitely is 90s. All the leather, all the... this just screams 90s. I can just hear the techno going. But it ages pretty well. It holds up. The sequels don't. But this one is definitely one that people remember, and it's definitely one of the ones that influenced probably the most films afterwards.
I believe there's plenty of memes come off this movie too.
Oh yes.
The saying "red pill" and "blue pill" come from this too.
Oh yeah, it does. Just that's a quick Google search. But anyway, that's one of my favorites. I'm not saying that's the best movie of the '90s. That's just one of my personal favorites. It's the one that stayed with me the most, and I think it's one of the most influential. But Tyler, you got another one from '99.
What if I told you that this movie was the best movie in The Matrix?
But before you move on to the next movie, I read somewhere that apparently most of the Matrix movies, most of the shots are like tinted green.
Yeah.
To like replicate like the old style computer screens.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of great little things that the Wachowskis did on that.
And they watched a lot of Ghost in the Shell too.
Yeah, it's highly inspired by anime, and it's old kung fu movies. It kind of took a nice kind of blend of all those kind of things, and it really incorporated it. So Tyler, another movie from '99. What do you think?
Fight Club.
Fight Club. Okay. Why did you pick Fight Club?
Because that's the manliest man movie that's ever made its manliest way to the manly screen.
I think it's more bro-ish, but continue.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's just great. The Fight Club is just there's inner aspects of ourselves that society wants us to hold down and hold back, and just let it out. Sometimes you have to let your inner self out. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, well, this is a movie directed by David Fincher also. And David Fincher, if you don't know, he directed other movies like Seven, The Social Network. He's directed a lot of other great movies too, but I don't want to get too caught up in that. Continue.
Oh, it's fantastic, and especially like the whole twist, and that's probably one of the biggest twists I have ever seen, and like in a movie. It's one of the great ones. You want me to spoil the twist?
Well, I think everybody knows the twist. It's like a 20-year-old movie.
Well, he makes friends with a guy named Tyler Durden, and Tyler Durden is he's like. He doesn't hold anything back. Everything that's about Tyler Durden is out there in the open. He steals rich people. When rich women get liposuction, he steals their fat and makes it into soap and sells it back to them. And he's all about chaos and disorder. He's an anarchist. Mm-hmm. And they become close friends. And Edward Norton, you never hear his character name in the entire movie. But Edward Norton is like your office salary man. He's just kind of bored. And he has real bad insomnia. And then they meet, and they become real close friends. They hit it off, and they start a fight club. And
We'll get to the twist. I think most people have seen the
well,
movie. Yeah.
Tyler Durden isn't real. Tyler Durden is a dissociative personality that's inside of Edward Norton.
The movie does a lot of things to try to tell you he's not real too, but
Because he's watching TV and you can see the interview with Brad Pitt up there, and it's Brad Pitt wearing.
he's in a lot of things. Yeah,
You see him like flashes in the background.
he's everything that Edward Norton's character isn't.
Exactly. He's the alter ego of Edward Norton. I mean, he is his He's his Mr. Hyde.
And I also think this movie is also great. It's another one. 99 is a great year for movies. But Chris, lastly, what do you pick? There you go. Take your time. We're still here.
I actually picked a movie from earlier in the 90s. I believe 93 it was made?
It was 93.
It was
Jurassic
93.
Park.
Okay. It was Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Robin Hood, yeah.
Now, why did you pick Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Because this is one of the older movies that when I was younger, my older brother showed it to me, and it was hilarious.
Okay.
And it's like I have a few of those movies. It's like I loved them ever since. Yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights is just it's such a fun just comedy movie. It's great.
It's a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah, but I had to take you as a Mel Brooks fan.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
he
love
loves Mel Brooks, man. He loves Spaceballs and all
Oh,
that.
Mel Brooks is great.
All that Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah, but like this being one of the
my
comedies, and I mean, you could have picked a lot of other ones. Like
Yeah.
specifically, like what drew you to this one? Why did you say this one for the '90s movie? Besides the fact that you saw it when you were young.
I don't know. It was. I mean, seeing it when I was younger was a big part of it because it was one of those like moments I'd share with my older brother, and so it was kind of like partial nostalgia thing for me, but in a different way
Yeah.
than most people who probably saw it. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what drew me to this movie. I always loved these movies.
And Mel Brooks has that really kind of sort
Yeah.
of wacky style that was carried over into other movies,
Yeah,
like
like-
the scary movies and whatnot. You know, they
Yeah.
didn't do it as well.
Yeah,
But-
Robin Hood Men in Tights, Monty Python, The Holy Grail, Spaceballs, History of the World.
Oh yeah, those are all great.
Yeah.
And again, the '90s are full of great movies, and we'll end on this. You know, they're also great, full of dramatic movies like Schindler's List, and the English
List
Patient
too.
wasn't that great, but you know,
Schindler's List 2.
Schindler, yeah, we all know what that one is.
Yeah.
You've done this joke like 19 times in the show.
Okay.
Drew wants to mention Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan, yeah, it's another good serious movie. I'm blanking on serious movies right now. I keep thinking of stupid ones. But yeah, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan. There was my goodness. There was many other movies in the 90s. Heat, yeah. We talked about Heat. Heat's also a great
Dogma.
movie. Heat holds up, man.
J.S. Silent Bob.
We're-
Clerks.
Yeah, we're going to be up here all day if we keep talking and
Jersey
trying to figure
Girl.
things. It kind of. You just name Kevin Smith movies now?
Yeah,
We are gonna be here all day with Drew in my ear.
Oh yeah, like there's a lot of great 90s movies. 90s was a great decade for movies. But anyway, tell us your favorite 90s movie at facebook.com.
Tell me also your favorite-
NCC.
Tell me your favorite Kevin Smith movie too.
Well, as long as it's not a Kevin Spacey film, we'll be okay. Yeah, Kevin Smith, Kevin Spacey.
Oh, wait, was it? I don't remember him being in a View Askew movie.
What?
Like he was in a View Askew.
Guys, don't askew your view. Just
View
keep living
askew.
the way you want to. And rest in peace, Kevin Spacey's career. My name's Isaac Squeaky Clean Anderson.
I am Tyler.
And I'm Chris.
Yeah.
Stay lovely, guys.